This is a smaller, tight-knit group of individuals that really represent the country.
It doesn't matter what age you are, if you're willing to win, you're willing to put your best effort.
It's not how hard you get hit.
I ended up fracturing my thumb.
They suspected that he had Crohn's.
It's how hard you get hit and get knocked down and get up again. We don't take days off.
That's right, strength, no weakness.
Sky's kind of the limit.
Get ready, because today we're taking a look at some of our future prodigies and pros. This is No Days Off.
I want to be a professional soccer player.
Jalen's greatest skill that I've seen as a soccer player is his dedication. And when he sees his other friends doing it, he wants to do it. He wants to do it better. If they do a rainbow kick in the game, well, he wants to do the same thing. So it's just his dedication to really honing his craft and being the best he can be, even at 9 years old.
Really one step ahead of his game, and he's so humble that you wouldn't even know it. 9 years old, that you would never think that could get out there and play that game like that.
I would say what's really unique about Jalen's talent is his natural ability to grasp things within 1 or 2 attempts. You know, he'll see it and then give him 5 minutes and bam, he's got it.
He's like a little gift from God. I mean, everything he touches, he masters. So there's nothing that I don't think that little boy will be able to conquer.
My name is Jalen Abar, and I'm 9 years old, and I play soccer. I practice about 4 hours every day.
I began coaching Jalen in June of 2018, and he's basically been in my life every day since. You know, we train multiple times a week, and obviously I see him on the weekends. He's been in the residency the last 2 years.
He does a residency program, so he goes to the program at 8 o'clock and he trains until about 11, which is whenever they do their lunchtime. And then from 11 to 2, they have a teacher come in to do their education. And then from 2 to 4, it's training again. So it's really just always on the ball. And he works with this team. Like, it's a residency of 17 kids, and a lot of these kids are on his own team.
What you see here is the field where Performance Academy residency is housed. The concept behind this is you have high-level players going to school and training with each other. The parents get off work, pick up the kids. They don't have additional trainings to go to. They can be regular kids the rest of the evening.
So all the training, the hard work he puts into it, I mean, 5 days a week. We were at one time every weekend. It's like, well, what are we doing this weekend? I was like, you know what we're doing this weekend. We're going to watch Jalen play soccer.
What allows him to play the way he plays is he's inquisitive. He's curious. He'll see something, and he may not talk about it. He may look at it, and you can see him thinking. You can see the wheels turning, and he's like, I'm going to see if I can try that. How do we get magic if we don't allow you to experiment? And that's what it is.
So I started coaching Jalen. You know, like I said, I was just a YouTube soccer dad. And once I realized that like he had potential, that's when I went and sought help. I was like, okay, I need more for my kid.
Opening up, getting them wider, changing levels. And so those are all things that we worked on today, from his balance, his coordination. I just wanted to see that he still had those areas aligned still with his game. And then of course, as you see, he's doing it. So I chose those particular exercises because I always feel like we want to activate the muscles. So that's what you saw us do with the band. So we were activating his calves, ankles, knees, hips, and also just trying to get him to change levels for that balance that we're looking for. And then the last movements that we did were the transverse patterns, where we were sticking at the end on the high knees, and then we were crossover stepping out.
I like technique and skills more than juggling because you can't really juggle on a game. That's not really helpful, but you can use technique and skills in a game. I just like making people dive. It's like really fun doing that.
Try anything. Make a mistake, good. It's an opportunity to fix it. How do you fix it? And then what do you learn from that? So the way that he's playing is not systematic. There's no pattern. There's nothing that is predictable about it because we don't know what he's going to do. It's completely up to his imagination. you know, hey, Coach Ron, I saw someone do this. Can I try it?
Coming up next.
I started playing soccer whenever I was 3 years old. I didn't really know much about soccer until my mom just wanted me to start playing soccer, because like she played soccer and then my sister played soccer. My family is like addicted to soccer.
So I did encourage him to play just because I played when I was younger, and growing up my whole life, my parents loved watching soccer. Like they're big like Mexico fans. My mom is from Mexico, so she's like just soccer every day.
You know, I saw a little glimpse in the very first game he ever played. He scored a goal. It was like 3v3 indoors, but he'd never played before, never touched a ball prior to that. And I was like, okay, so yeah, he's solid.
And he would just be running around all of these other kids and, you know, scoring all of the goals, and he really did stand out since he was very little.
He was just born with a ball in his hand, and it was a soccer ball. And his dad, I mean, all the videos that we see from itty bitty to now and how he's grown.
He's just flying down the field. He's outrunning kids that are taller than him, maybe a year or two older than him, but he's handling himself like he's been here before, like he's been doing this before. And it was a joy to see. I mean, at the end of the day, he's just a kid. He's around his uncles, he's around his sister, and you see Jalen for who he really is. I mean, everyone else on YouTube and things like that, they see the soccer phenom. We see the other side.
I really believe he's just a genuinely his own unique person.
When he comes to the house, he'll jump on Gimps, and they got a little saying that they say. Gimps, you show is ugly.
We didn't push it on him to be a professional soccer player. He saw that he was good, and you know, he said his goal was to be a professional soccer player. And so, as a dad, you know, I said, okay, I will do everything I can in my power to help you achieve that goal.
If Jalen sticks with it, I mean, he's already on path and set his path to become a professional. He'll get picked up pretty early.
Honestly, for him, I really do think that him just being a professional athlete, he's always said that that's what he wants to be when he grows up. So if he doesn't do this as a living, like being an athlete himself, then he'll probably be the one to teach kids and guide them in the right directions.
Jalen's future is limitless, if you ask me, because we've instilled this work ethic in him so at such an early age that it just doesn't matter what he decides to take on in life. He's going to be successful. But for him, our goal has always been college, and we're going to stick to, you know, playing college soccer. That's going to forever be our goal because that's how we started out. So if we're able to go pro, that's a bonus. It's a major bonus, obviously, but it is a bonus. As long as we get him into college, then, you know, we've done our job as parents, because you know, ultimately all we want to do is set our kid up for success. But for Jalen, I genuinely believe that the sky is the limit for him.
He's so young, he's only 9, but he's already stood out to so many different coaches all over the world. Like, we've had coaches from Brazil, from all over the United States, from Europe, from Barcelona, just come and like congratulate us and tell us that they have been watching him and like, you know, to keep working at it. So I really do believe that this is his path in life, that he will one day be a professional soccer player.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to check out other No Days Off videos.
Coming up next.
Yeah, what's the Chris Brown song? It's the
Give us a few lines.
When it comes to game time, it's, you know, she blacks out. She's a beast.
You know, obviously you can see she's a very talented player. You know, the talent only gets you so far, the old saying, you know, if you don't work hard, and she certainly has that, you can see. I mean, she's out there a lot, training.
She's the most physical player on the team. She gives it her all. She'll play hurt, she'll play injured. She will, you know, hunt you down if she needs to.
I think you've got to have a little bit of everything, but, you know, without the hard work and the willingness to go out every day and do something, I think that's one of the reasons she, you know, not only the ability that she has, but the work rate that she has and the work she puts into the game. So them two things usually end up doing well.
And she's just a playmaker.
My name is Gabrielle Parker. I'm 11 years old and I play soccer. Hey guys, good morning. You can come in. This is my room. These are all my medals that I have won and my trophies. And those are my new cleats and my no days off shirt.
Right underneath, lifting and pushing with the outside, pull and pushing with the outside. It's very important that we try and help these kids along with the technical, teaching them what we consider the right way to play the game. But I think you've got to allow players to be themselves as well and not overcoach them. You can make the players too robotic if you try and teach them everything. The way I look at my teams especially, and what I try and tell some of the other coaches, it's almost like I look at my team like a bit of a jigsaw, that you need a bunch of different pieces. We're not trying to make everybody the same. We're going to let her be whatever she's going to be, and we're just going to guide her along the way. Touch. I've only been with her just over a year right now, and just trying to, obviously she's a very creative player, and just trying to help her with the decision making a little bit, but let her to play be very creative, let her do a thing. We're just trying to work on her decision making a little bit, and I think she's over the last few months she's really matured as a player.
The moment I realized when I love soccer is when I got that ball and then I scored. I think I was like 4 or something. I was small, and I remember getting the ball and scoring and then seeing my grandpa in the back, and I remember him screaming like good job and stuff, and my whole family was there, and I started to love it by then.
Good. 1, 2, touch cut. Good. Eyes up and a finish. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Touch cut. Eyes up. Hey. Good quick cut. Bang, away we go. 1, 2. Pull it, touch it and cut it. Eyes up. Come on, 3. Come on. Back it out. Good. Good. Right into me. Come on. Quick touch. Finish.
When I hurt my hamstring, I thought that I wasn't be able to play again, and that I would need surgery on it, and I was really scared of that.
A lot of times we only see the finish line. We don't anticipate things like that, especially from somebody who puts out all that effort and all that energy. We knew that we had to work a lot harder to get back to where we wanted to be, and that this wasn't going to finish us.
The comeback made me stronger because I knew that I wasn't doing something good enough on that field that made me hurt it. I took therapy, and it helped me become stronger, so when I got on that field I could play better and be stronger on that field to not hurt myself again.
Have a little stretch. Your own stretches. That's it. Hold them. She's very, what we call technical, is very good on the ball, very comfortable on the ball. She likes to dribble, she likes to be creative. With young players, sometimes you don't often see that because they're a little bit scared to fail. With Gabby, you've got to try and find the balance. We've got to try and let her try things and be creative, because they're the type of players that we're looking for, and just helping her along with the decision making along the way. Okay, don't go the wrong way this time. Okay, ready? 1 in between. Ready? Go.
The things that make me different are my skills, my communication, and picking my head up when I'm on the ball, and my physicalness. I usually tell myself, don't mess up, you got this, and then I get nervous a bit sometimes, but I tell myself I could do this, I got this, and then I get on the field and I'm serious, and I try to make my passes perfect and everything neat on the field.
Yeah, well, mostly with the team. 3 times a week, usually see her on the weekends as well at games, so it's 3, sometimes 4. But I need to see her a little bit more. I know she likes to train a lot, so you can train her whenever she wants.
Okay, you two are gonna count, and then you're gonna hide. Count to my right.
Gabrielle's pretty mature for her age. She's asked to do a lot of things that most kids don't do. She has a lot of responsibilities, definitely a little bit more pressure than most kids, so she's really adapted to that, and it shows on the field, it shows in school, it shows around the house.
And I do art. This is some of the art that I like to do. I like to, sit down and just focus on the art sometimes to slow myself down.
Gabrielle's a great leader, natural leader. She, her siblings, really admire everything that she does. She's a workhorse. She likes to clean. She likes to participate in everything. She's pretty amazing.
I know that what I'm doing at home can reflect on what I'm doing on the field, like being a leader.
I think it's more of the leadership and leading by example. The kids really look up to her, want to copy and do exactly everything that she does. And I think she motivates the team when she, shows that she gives it her all. The team usually follows that same trend. She understands what a sacrifice is. She understands that, we're not privileged enough to stay home and not go to work and not, bust our butts out there to make sure she's, she has gear and her tuition's paid for. So she understands that we make sacrifices, she makes sacrifices, and she definitely, holds her end of it.
To me, be you means to be yourself. You don't have to act like a other person to do something or to play on the field. You don't have to act like someone. You be yourself and work as hard as you can on that field or at home or at school or anywhere.
Start it with your foot, okay.
Coming up next.
Shuttle it! She spanked it into the old onion bag.
Awesome. Anything else you want to add?
Soccer's the best sport. Definitely go play it.
Perfect.
She's driven and focused like I've never seen.
She won't stop. Her drive, her commitment in the long run, that always separates those like her from the rest.
I think it's really that drive and just that desire to be great. She just seems to want it more than most kids her age that I've seen anyway.
Hi, my name is Charlotte Stavis. I'm 14 years old and I play soccer.
Don't think about grabbing it. You want to think about kind of opening your hand up a little bit with that bar rather than trying to keep your. First of all, it's hot in here, so it's never easy for anybody. But what impressed me the most about her is when during the quarantine when we had to shut down, unfortunately, Charlotte was one of the first to reach out and ask how she could still be training, but obviously in a safe environment, still at home. So she reached out to us. We gave her specific training protocol that she could even do at home. So even a big unfortunate circumstance doesn't stop her from wanting to get better. Go ladies! My favorite speed drill to do with the athletes is what we did today with the top speed mechanics, because they don't do a lot of it outside of maybe if you were a track runner, but if you're not, it's so good to teach the kids these mechanics when it comes to running and improving speed and velocity. Number two, I love my Olympic lifts, hang cleans, power cleans, squat cleans, power snatches of the like, for two reasons. It improves a lot of athleticism, balance, coordination, and it also helps the athlete create power at a high rate, which is what they do on any given day when they're running and jumping and kicking and throwing things. They need to be able to create power, do it correctly, which is why I love the Olympic lift and then the top speed max velocity mechanic drills.
Soccer players are very creative, technical, and they have really great vision on and off the field. I first started playing soccer when I was 3 years old, but I didn't really start seriously training until middle school.
Hit it, hit it.
On a normal weekday in preparation for a game on the weekend, I will get up around 7. I usually eat something, then I go to Ultimate Athlete to work on my strength, speed, and power. After that, I come home, eat lunch, rest for a little bit, then I train on my own and practice my ball mastery and technical ability at home for 2 hours. And then usually I maybe learn a new trick or skill, and after that I have team practice, which when I come home from, I'll practice some more on my own.
Coming up next.
The greatest piece of advice that any coach has ever given me is that real work doesn't go unnoticed. My favorite thing I do when I train is I love anything ball mastery or technical related, because I feel like those drills really help showcase what I am as a player.
And futsal is played on a hard court, like you see here, a small court about the size of a basketball court, with a ball that's smaller than a soccer ball. It doesn't bounce like a soccer ball. It has much less bounce in it. And it's extremely technical, very skillful and creative, and it's non-stop. Good, remember the backwards transitions. Remember your reverse L's, crisscross wedge hop backwards, windshield wipers backwards, walk the dog backwards, cross the street backwards, reverse eco spins. When Charlotte first started with us, futsal was still foreign to her. Freestyle was brand new, and there were others that were better, but she used that every single time she could identify certain flaws or weaknesses she had. Immediately she jumped on that and tried to strengthen that. And she did it with the best attitude. She never backed down from that. You know, she doesn't stop if she fails. And she shows that in so many different ways out there. And that's how we learn. That's how we learn faster. If you welcome that failure and correct it, and you don't mind being exposed. If you want someone on the team that's going to be a leader, an example, and raise the level of the team, she's the one you want.
Nice. Shuttle it! He spanked it into the old onion bag.
My parents are very supportive. They drive me everywhere to all my games and practices. They always are there at my games cheering me on.
Is your dad very cool?
Oh, he's pretty cool. #1 fan.
Most kids, you know, her mom and I joke about it, their parents sort of drag them out there to go practice. She's the one dragging us out there to practice. She's just constantly working at it. I mean, even from the youngest age, she was always out there with a ball, wanting to kick it. I think it's just really helped her understand the value of a team and how no matter how good you get, you're only as good as your weakest link as a team, and that you can't win these games by yourself, I think is just a great life lesson that'll serve her well as she goes through soccer, her college, her career, and all of those things.
She's definitely a little bit more sassy on the field, aggressive. You're not gonna knock her down. She's gonna get back and push back. And she's not quite like that at home with her siblings and friends, but it's really fun to see on the field. I know she wants to play professional soccer, and we're behind her 100%.
The greatest piece of advice that any coach has ever given me is that real work doesn't go unnoticed. So if you just keep putting in that work every single day, you'll get noticed and you'll reach all of your goals.
Today was just one day down for these future stars. Tomorrow they'll be back at it again, working and training. Because when you want to be the best, there are no days off.